Hey guys, it's me, Pokemon. I'm here to talk about Marvel Strike Force today, and I have a more speculative video for you guys. Now, for those of you that don't follow every single thing that the Fox X Games team says, like me, you wouldn't know that they did say in an interview a while ago they had some big stuff planned for a Deadpool update that would eventually be coming to Marvel Strike Force. Now, today I'm going to be talking about a couple of things that we could hopefully expect to see from an update like that. The only thing I really expect from this update are Deadpool-related characters. Now, I'm going to list off, like, every Deadpool-related character I could think of. Of course, we won't see every single character that I'm thinking of right now, but I wanted to list off everybody just to give you guys some ideas. So first up, we have Deadpool. Of course, everybody wants Deadpool. Hopefully, they don't make him too hard to farm. He'd be like the fourth wall breaking. Maybe he could slam his HP bar into the enemies. He would have a lot of regeneration. He'd use his guns, katanas. They could just pretty much do whatever they wanted with Deadpool, so I hope they have a ton of fun with this kid and his animations, because they do tend to do a really good job with animations, so I hope they go crazy with him. Next, we have Domino, and I think there's a lot of really interesting things they could do with her kit. She could maybe dodge things more often because she'd get lucky with all that. I just think there's a lot of intriguing ways they could incorporate the luck into the turn-based game. So I'd really like to see how they put Domino into the game. And in terms of the looks, I'd kind of like the classic look. I don't mind how she looks in the movie, but personally, when I think of Domino, I more think of her classic look that we saw in like the cartoons and the comic. Next, we have Cable. He's another character I'd really hope we would get. I mean, Cable would be really cool because I think his animations would look awesome. I mean, essentially, Cable just has like huge guns. I'm sure he has other powers, but when I think of Cable, I think of like humongous guns, like giant laser shooting future guns. So again, I think they could have a lot of fun with Cable's animations, and I hope he looks really cool in the game. I'd really like to see him in the Marvel Strike Force art style. And finally, from the characters I would hope / expect to see, we have Colossus. There's not a lot to Colossus. Again, I think it'd be an interesting tank. They could do some fun stuff with him resisting damage. But the big thing everybody wants to see with Colossus is the fastball special with Wolverine. I don't think there's a single human being on this world that doesn't want to see this in the game. If they add Colossus and he does not have the fastball special with Wolverine, I think it's time for us to rage. Nothing else has ever offended us, but this will be the first. This is the thing that we need to fight for. This needs to happen. And since because you guys are here for the video, why don't I just go over the rest of his X-Force team from the movie to maybe give you guys, maybe we could get them if they really feel like it. We have Negasonic Teenage Warhead. She's the... I'll put the image up. I can't really describe how most of these characters look because they're all like really random, so I can't exactly explain them to you. You probably will see the picture of them and be like, oh yeah, I remember that person from the trailer. Essentially, she has telekinesis stuff. She can pull things out of thin air. Essentially, she can manipulate reality. This is a real grab bag of abilities, but she can also harness and absorb energy, which that's the part of her power set they seem to focus on in the movies. Next, we have Bedlam. I'd like to see him in the game, but they'd have to put a little bit of effort into him. He'd be, I don't know, kind of normal for most of his skills, but it'd be cool if he could actually disable characters like Ultron or Iron Man passively. Essentially, Bedlam's powers are he can disable electronics, so I think that'd be really interesting if they classify some characters into like an electronic class, and he actually would have a chance to disable those characters. Next, we have Shatterstar. He has a lot of stuff in his kit. He can, like, absorb energy. He's, like, in peak human condition. He has some really awesome weapons, and that's the part I want them to focus on. He can generate shock waves or something like that and put them in his weapons, and also, I guess, he can create portals. The big thing we'd want to see with Shatterstar is his really cool weapons having, like, cool lightning effects on them and him slashing people with them. I think that looked really cool in the game. That's the only reason I really want Shatterstar, just because of his cool weapons, and the animations would be awesome. We have Richter, who they haven't exactly focused on in the movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's like not in the patch at all. I honestly didn't even know he existed until now, but he can generate seismic waves. He is on the X-Force team. We have seen him in the background of the trailer, so he does actually exist, so who knows? Maybe we could get a character in the style of Quake. Next, we have Surge. She can control electricity, at least I think it's Surge. We don't necessarily know her name from the trailer, but it looks like Surge. And then it looks like she can channel the electricity into her weapons like we saw in the trailer with her chain. I think it was a chain that she was slashing people with. Now, finally, we have Peter. Now, Peter, you might be like, well, that's stupid, Pa. Why would you put Peter in Marvel Strike Force? Well, the really interesting thing about Peter is I'm calling it right now. I was digging through the lore of Deadpool to research for this video. Turns out there's only been one other Peter that's ever joined the X-Force team aside from Colossus. And there was a Peter that was a secret agent for like Britain or something like that who could summon and throw plasma blades. So I'm calling it right now. This is my prediction for Deadpool 2. That Peter is actually an undercover agent, and halfway through the movie, or when Deadpool's in trouble, he's just going to suddenly start killing people with psionic blades. I'm calling it right now. Peter has powers, and he's actually, like, really cool, and he's just playing dumb. Again, that might be a little bit of a spoiler if it does happen in the movie, so Peter's not all that likely, but hey, I can dream that Peter's gonna get in with this update. There's two more characters I'd like to say here. They're not related to Deadpool 2, but they're related to Deadpool. We have Gwenpool. It's pretty much Deadpool, except she's a girl. You know, they could just do whatever. They couldn't fit into Deadpool's kit. She's similar to Deadpool in the fact that fourth wall breaking, so pretty much you can do... I mean, there's so many cool ideas for Deadpool moves that you could throw anything you couldn't fit onto Deadpool's kit onto Gwenpool's kit. Also, I'd really like to see Hydra Agent Bob. This is a big thing I don't think Marvel Strike Force capitalizes on. The fact that every character in the game only has like 2 or 3 skills. I don't think the kind of characters like Hydra Bob necessarily get to make it into a lot of the games like Contest of Champions and Future Fight, because there's not enough depth to their skill set that they could produce a full character. But in a game like Marvel Strike Force, where you only need at the minimum 2 skills for a character, I think it's an excellent place for random characters like that to shine. Like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like we got Mac and all them, like they're not deep enough to go into Future Fight, but they would be perfect for Marvel Strike Force, because you could easily pull 3 skills out of the TV show for Mac and stuff like that. And I just would like to see more of these, like, D-tier characters make it into Marvel Strike Force, like Korg. Korg can't make it into Contest of Champions or Future Fight because he doesn't have enough skills, but he would fit perfectly in Marvel Strike Force, and I think Hydra Bob falls into that range of characters that aren't necessarily deep enough to fit into other games, but would fit well into Marvel Strike Force, and this applies for a lot of characters. Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, Bedlam, Richter, Shatterstar, they're not necessarily deep enough to get into a lot of these games, but I still think Marvel Strike Force is an excellent place for them to shine. Now, in terms of my honest predictions, Deadpool, Domino, Cable, Colossus. That's all I could really hope / expect for. Everybody else is just wishful thinking, but hey, they said they had a major update plan, so we're going major with what I'm hoping for. A major thing we have to focus on right now is the fact of communication. They said in an interview that Star-Lord, Loki, and Vision would be playable. Well, they showed Star-Lord playable. Loki's been teased out. They said he'd be coming, and they said Vision will be playable. And we don't even know when they're coming out right now for the last update. And that update's been out for like 2 or 3 weeks. And we still don't know how we're going to be recruiting those characters or if they're even coming out. Fox Next Games needs to get better with how they communicate with these kind of things. I'll give them a little mercy. It was their first time they put out an update, but they need to be telling us what's going to be happening with this update. It also concerns me because Fox Next Game doesn't know how to release characters. Let's go through all the characters they released in Marvel Strike Force, and let's look at how farmable they are. So first off, we have Ultimus. He doesn't really count. He's an endgame character. You can only farm him if you have max star rank characters. I think he's fine, but that's not necessarily a normal character, so we can't look at him. We have Black Panther. Major Avenger, not farmable. Only way to get him is if you're in top 500 of Blitz. That's not okay. We got Wolverine. Right now, he's okay. You get him from your daily check-in, but it's kind of weird because this doesn't feel like it's going to be permanent. I could see him being switched out with other characters, and what are they going to do once he switches out from the daily objectives? Are they just going to throw him into a blitz like all the other characters? So Wolverine, I'm worried about. Thanos, I think right now he's in a good place. You have the event to get a ton of his shards, then you can run the raids. But again, what do we do once this raid season is over? He's going to be gone, and how are we going to get him after that? Are you guys just going to throw him into blitz like you do with everybody else? Thanos concerns me. We have Doctor Strange. They threw him out. He's only available on Blitz and Premium Orbs. So this pattern does concern me, and I'd like to say we could see Vision. Vision looks like an eligible character to not be in Blitz, but they haven't put out Vision or communicated with us about him, so there's no way for us to know. Ideally, Future Fight can release characters without adding new ways to farm them because they have biometric selectors farmable from other modes. That'd be the equivalent of having character shard selectors. So you'll get like a neutral character shard and then you can put it to whatever character you want to. So they can keep on releasing characters without having to make farmable methods for them because every character in their own way is technically farmable still, and it works and it's easier for them. Fox Next Games does not have that, so right now, the way I think they could do this is they should add a brand new mode to the game called Special Missions. And this is essentially just going to be a campaign. And what they're going to do is every time they need to add new ways to farm characters, you just throw them into this special missions. And it's essentially, we'll have 2 chapters, 1 chapter. I think 2 chapters fits about well for Deadpool. You would have 6 farmable nodes throughout these 2 chapters, give 2 to Deadpool, and then throw 4 of them for other characters, and now you have all these characters farmable. And I know you guys want to make money, and I definitely think you guys should, so feel free to throw 1 extra character into an orb or a blitz or some pay to, you know, way that you're not going to get as a free-to-play player. I think it's great if you guys do want to make money off the occasional character, but it can't be the only character you're releasing like you guys have been doing. I can't really keep invested in this game when you keep on releasing new characters that I'm not even capable of getting. So as long as you guys release a lot of characters that are free to play friendly, and then you put one character into Blitz/Orbs, I think that's okay. I think Cable is an excellent candidate for Orb/Blitz. Everybody wants him, but he's not necessarily mainstream enough that I think you'd make people mad. And the kind of fans that do like Cable are the more hardcore Marvel fans, and they'd be the kind of people that are willing to either spend money or complete Blitz. So overall, those are the two things I'd like to see in this update: brand new characters and actual ways to farm the brand new characters they add. So let me know down below what you guys think we're going to be getting in this Deadpool update. Do you think we're going to get a new mode, new raids, new missions? Just let me know, because I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. And this will only be the second real update we get to Marvel Strike Force, so hopefully now we can finally get a pattern in how Fox Next Games is going to be releasing content. So at the end of the day, guys, what do I know about Marvel Strike Force? I am just a 16-year-old. Signing off, guys.
Don't say no. Don't say no. Don't say no.